I think I got all of it. Just realized if you didn't watch yesterday's video, then this whole thing doesn't really make sense. Yesterday, I went the entire day wearing this shirt, and it had a nasty stain all right there. So I picked some of this stuff up when I was at Walmart last night. I just finished editing yesterday's vlog, and I realized that I needed to do this. So yeah. So you're caught up now. Alright, so remember the song that I tracked yesterday? Which, if you haven't watched that video, here's the link up there. I always forget what side it's on. It's on one of these sides. Anyway, we tracked the drums yesterday, but today I have to go through and basically quantize things just so everything's really tight to the grid, and add a little bit of EQ and compression, not a ton, but the main thing is to quantize drums, which shouldn't take very long, and make the percussion tracks good, because we got some percussion takes, but I'm gonna have to like loop them and layer them and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing today. All right, so we're here in Pro Tools, and this is the comp track that I basically have. So this was take 2, I believe. This is take 3, and this is take 4. And like I said yesterday, we were supposed to just track these 2 sections right here, but we ended up tracking this front half, mostly just because it felt like it needed it. But I say all that to say, like, I did 2 takes here and I did 2 takes here because these 2 changed halfway through the session. But anyway, we're gonna go through now and kind of quantize everything and make sure it's all good. So what I do first is obviously I turn the metronome on to see where I am in relation to the click track. And by the way, this is mostly just to clean a couple of like notes that are a little off. I've done it to where I edit other drummers and I have to like do major surgery to kind of drag things around, but an experienced drummer is going to be mostly on the click, and you're just nudging things slightly to really tighten things up. So we're in the song, and what I'll do is I'll go section by section depending on how busy the drums are. So for this section, I'm just doing like a boom, doom doom type of thing. So since I'm just doing that, I'm going all the way up into the first chorus. I'm going to split right there, and the shortcut for Pro Tools is Command E. And then I'm gonna focus just on this section. And the reason I do that is you'll have to change some parameters and some sensitivities with more notey type of things with Beat Detective. And I've just found splitting it up by sections just gives me a lot less problems, and it takes a lot less time when I'm doing this. Typically, if I wasn't recording, it would take about 5 minutes to do an entire song. And a lot of it's because I'm splitting this up into sections. So I'm gonna go into open up Beat Detective, which shortcut is Command 8. I'm gonna go to clip separation. And here's the part where splitting it really helps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna capture the section that is highlighted by clicking capture section. So now you'll notice it's going from measure 1 all the way to 20, which is right there. And I want it to be in a 16th note grid. And then I'm gonna click analyze, drag this guy all the way down, and then I'm gonna drag it just to where I see most of the notes are covered. And you don't wanna drag it all the way up, because basically what these purple lines are telling you is that's where Beat Detective is gonna make individual cuts. And if you don't wanna cut audio that you don't need to cut, or overcut it if you don't need to, because then it's gonna sound less real and a little more artificial. Once I do that, I will listen through the section and make sure I have all the spots I need. Cool, so I went through and all of them are lined up. So now I'm gonna click separate, and you'll notice it made small, or cut the clips where those purple lines are. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna go to clip conform, just because for me, I found it's given me more issues than I care to deal with. So I'm just gonna manually quantize it, and the shortcut for that is Command 0. And you'll notice things are nudged a little bit. So now the things are nudged, and if I zoom in, you'll kind of see like there's a little nudge, there was a bigger nudge. But anyway, it's basically just nudging things to the grid. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to listen back again and make sure that everything's kind of on the click track. Cool, everything's lined up on the grid. And now I'm gonna go through and do the next section of the song, which I'll probably just break it up chorus, verse, chorus, you know, that whole thing. And keep doing that until we're done. And then once we do that, then we'll come back and I'll show you what I do after to kind of get some of the sections that are a little choppy smoothed out. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so now I went through and quantized the whole song, but you'll notice a problem when I play this for you. It'll be kind of choppy because some of the clips are moved around, so you hear like a psh, psh. I'll just play it for you. You'll hear what I'm talking about. So you can hear it's kind of choppy and everything else, and that's where this next section is really cool. So what I'm gonna do is, you do this at the very last step when everything's like lined up where you want it to be. But I'm going to select the entire track, and all I'm doing is just shift and enter, or shift and return, I guess, on this keyboard. That selects all of it. Go down here to edit smoothing, click that, capture section. I do a 10 millisecond crossfade length, but you can do whatever. I do fills and crossfades, just because it works better for me. And then smooth. And then you will notice this section. You can't hear it. You can't hear any of the choppiness. And basically what that does is it adds crossfades in there to smooth everything out. And that's why Beat Detective's so powerful. And that's why it's great for drums, because I did all of this, and I have, what, 10 tracks? I did all of that in like 5 minutes because of groups and everything else. So that's why Pro Tools is awesome for recording and editing drums and stuff like that. And then the only thing I would do after this is just consolidate it, so it's just all, because basically we chopped everything up and we want to glue it back together. So I'm just gonna go up here to edit, consolidate clips, and that's basically it. Boom. Now, close Beat Detective, we have really solid drum tracks. Hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment or shoot me a message.